Okay, the purpose of this video is to show you how once you have ran a linear regression on your calculator, you can use that stored equation that you have in Y1 to answer a prediction problem or a prediction question about your line of best fit. Okay. So on this video here, the assumption is we have just ran a linear regression. We have the equation for the line of best fit that is shown to us here on our screen. When we ran the regression, we made sure to include the Y1 variable for where we were going to store the equation. So now if I were to press the Y equals button, you can see the calculator stored that in here for me. This number looks really long because it did not round the number. But if I were to scroll to the right, I could go ahead and see this part here is the slope that's in front of the X. And if I continue to scroll to the right, I could see the Y-intercept, the entire number, not rounded. Okay, that's what you want here. You don't ever want to manually enter your line of best fit into Y1. You want to be able to keep the full value of the number. That's why it's so important that when you run a regression, that you always put the Y1 variable at the end there where it's asking you to store the regression equation. Okay, so this was our original set of data. It's in stat edit for this example. Okay, and let's say that the problem asked us to predict what the Y value would be if, say, the X value was 12. Okay, so what you would do, I'm going to back out of this and hit second quit, is you would come into table setup, which is the feature underneath the window key. Okay, it's going to ask you, where would you like to start your table out at? Okay, you can only start your table out at an X value, never a Y value. So if the problem was asking us to predict what is the Y value when the X value is 12, we would start our table out at 12. Okay. Now to go to the actual table, it's underneath the graph key. So you're going to press the second button and the graph button. What you have when you go into the table is you have a list of all of the points that lie on the line of best fit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and press the graph button real quick here. Here we can see the line is running through our scatter plot. You will notice that none of the actual points lie on the line, but the purpose of the line is to show the general trend and direction that the points are going. Okay, what we're interested in is when X is 12, what is the Y value on the line of best fit? Okay, so again, I'm going into table setup. I'm choosing to start the table out at an X value of 12. And then when I go into the actual table by hitting second graph, I can see that on the line, when X is 12, Y is roughly 7.75. And you can scroll down, you can scroll up. You will notice that when X is 10, it says here that Y is 6.86. However, my data set that I typed in, when X was 10, Y was 1. The reason that is a difference is because, let's see, where is this at? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's probably right here. Okay, here's the point 10, 1. But when you go into the table, you're seeing a much higher Y value because the table is reporting what the Y value is on the line when X is 10, not the point that you had in your data set. So when you are asked to make predictions, the predictions are always talking about what would be happening on the line. So our answer to this would be roughly when X is 12, Y is about 7.75. That's how you make predictions. If we wanted to predict what would be the Y value when X is 25, you could either scroll down until you see 25 there, or you could go back to table setup and restart the table out at an X value of 25, go back into your table, and it will jump right to that position for you and report that Y value that is on the line that coincides with an X value of 25.